Morning YouTube, it's Aid here from Skidmore second-hand tyres. I've got a break in the weather today. It's gorgeous cloudless sky, and so I thought I'd do something I've been waiting to do for a while. I wanted a nice sunny day for it, although sunny isn't probably ideal because you can't see the colour of the metal when it's heated up, but I've got 5 neckers and a carving knife to temper, and then I've got a big file and then another file which I showed in an earlier vid, which I chopped in half, and half a mechanical saw blade, hacksaw blade, to take the hardness out of and normalise back to soft, so that I can work on them. And I'm gonna get the forge going. It's only a load of bricks and charcoal and a blower here in the back garden, which I'll show you in a minute when I set it up. And I think I might, just to dry everything out, heat up the files and the saw blade and chuck them in. I've got a load of vermiculite here. I'm going to chuck them in there once they've heated up to non-magnetic and let them cool down slowly, and hopefully that'll take all the hardness out of it. And then I'll close up the forge to smaller so that I can heat treat the 5 neckers and the carving blade. So I'll get back to you in a bit when I've sorted out the forge. Just for a bit of fun, thought I might try doing a Rutiger roll, or whatever it's called. I've seen a few people do this on YouTube with various different things. First off, I think it was ash from the fire, and then all sorts of other stuff, dried nettles I think, and things. I've done it before in the workshop without filming it, out of cigarette ash. So thought I might try it on camera. I've got some bag ash here. There's no shortage of that in our house, I tell you. What with the cats and the dogs, the beagles and the rabbits. Give it a liberal sprinkling. It's been up in the workshop for a few days, so I'm not sure if it hasn't taken on some of the moisture out of the air. Give it a go. Oh, I'm dripping. Right, so roll it up nice and tight. This was what I was hoping to do in the Fire and Ice Challenge for Ginger Bruce the other day, but because Coco had never practiced it before, I didn't think that was very fair. So roll it up nice and tight. Besides which, thinking about it, your hands are wet. They're going to dampen down everything. So, got the board, got this. We'll just give it a roll, make it nice and tight. It's gone very tight now. It's almost like making felt. It's getting warm. I'm going to have a go. And get some air to it. Let's see what it looks like in the camera. It's good. Right, what tinder we got here? Spin you around. There you go. Just couldn't quite get it, could it? Right. I'll get back to you when this is burning properly. Well, actually, I might just show you the layout. So there we've got a hot air gun going into a bit of flexible exhaust pipe, which goes over, down and in underneath the fire into an old can with a load of holes punctured in it, and that's going to be the air supply for the charcoal. And then just this simple pile of bricks that will forms the basis of the forge, and I can close in over the top with some more bricks just to keep the heat in and give me a bit of shade so I can see the colour of the metal. Right, so once again I'll get back to you once I've got this all started up and running. There we go, you can see the flames now. I've got the big file on underneath, and then the other two bits of the bigger file just on top with some more charcoal on, and then the saw blade there is going to go on the last, because that's the thinness. It's only about 2 mil thick, and I'm going to hopefully make a crook knife out of that. I've been making some spoons, and I used a gouge for doing the inside of the bowls, but I can see now the point of a crook knife, and also how I've seen how they're made, so I'm going to have a go at doing one of those as well. So they're all going to be heat treated to get rid of the hardness and go in the pot of vermiculite overnight, and then I can work on them at leisure. I'm not sure about the big horse file, because farrier's file, because I'll have, once again it's gone out of my head. I'll put his name down on the screen under this. He tried making a knife out of one and found it would only case hardened, but and I think he did take all the hardness out of the blade before he worked on it, so when he re-hardened it, it only seemed to case harden, so he scrapped it. So we'll see how that goes. Right, I'll get back to you later. Time for a coffee. Well, the forge seems to be getting up to near temperature now. We're getting a nice orange glow inside, and the sun's passed from overhead now, so it's in the shade in there, so it's easier to see the colour. And I'll put the saw blade in as well. I did try and cut the saw blade before I'd taken the hardness out of it, but I managed to cut it in half across, but not down the cut-off disc I used. It just sort of wouldn't touch it really, and ended up actually snapping a little bit off it. So hopefully what I've got here I'll be able to get at least one blade out of and make the crook knife. So I'm going to test that in a minute on the magnet, which is over there, the other side of the pile of bricks here, and chuck it in the vermiculite. I was looking around for ages for a pot to put it all in. It's big enough, and just come back in this morning and outside our front door is the green food waste bin, which we seldom use because we don't really waste any food. All our vegetable waste goes on the compost in the garden, and the bones get chucked in, I suppose, but it's hardly ever used, and so it's found a new use at the moment for standing up red hot bits of metal in. Hopefully it will not melt too much, we'll see. Whoops a daisy, I pushed it through the side. Right, well, the last bit of film was done on last Friday. Car got through its MOT alright, I know it would. And this is Monday now, and I was out all weekend doing things, so this is the first chance I've had to have a look at the files. This big old thing's gone bent like a banana. That's not too bad, and neither's that. The saw blade was bent, but it straightens out by hand, which I think is a good sign, because if it was not taking the normalising, it would have sprung back to where it was when you bend it. But this, I've just sort of straightened it out by hand at the moment, and I've got a file here, and it seems to be, I painted it with primer so that I could mark it out easier. You can see it. It seems to be taking it's taken the points off of those, off the teeth of the blade, so that's quite a good sign that that's maybe been more normalised. These bits of file. Just putting a bright edge on it. Looks like a lot of the hardness has been taken out of that. Yeah, and that one. This I'm not so sure about. It is a bit noisy. Yeah, it's definitely flattening off those heavy spines on the rasp side, and that, so as you can see, probably it's bent like a banana, but I suppose another heat and flatten it out on the anvil, and that should be hunky dory to start doing some work on. Yeah, right, that looks like it's done so far. That's all I'm going to do for this vid anyway, and I'm going to post this. I'm going to do them all as separate videos, I think, rather than do it all in one lump, because it was about an hour long altogether. It's too long. So I'll see you later. Cheerio.